Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück hier auf meinem Kanal zu einer neuen Folge Vampyr. So, wir sind in Whitechapel, wir haben jetzt erstmal alle geheilt und gleich gibt es, glaube ich, erstmal ein bisschen Ärger. Aber das ist nicht der Typ, ne, von dem es Ärger gibt. Müssen wir, glaube ich, wieder hier hinten hin. Weil wir müssen ja noch das Kästchen abgeben.
You again? What do you want this time?
I think the documents in this box could be of some interest to you.
Really? Where'd you get it?
I found it in an abandoned building nearby. I thought you might want to keep these letters.
Let me see. Ah, letters about my boy. Thank you, sir.
You do not appear surprised or pained by this.
Surprised about what? Harry's my son, I'm his father, and that's all there is to know, don't you think?
Yes, I suppose you're right.
Here's a little something for your trouble. And to remind you to keep your mouth shut about all this.
Okay.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Gut, dann habe ich da wahrscheinlich doch was falsch interpretiert. Weil der Brief war eigentlich für ihn gedacht, oder nicht?
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Barrett. You pay one way or another.
I'm cheap and I'm clean, I promise.
Good evening, Christina.
Change your mind, Mr. Reed?
Did you steal Clayton Darby's wallet? Tell me the truth, Christina.
Of course I stole it. But I never thought he would come back to look for it.
Why did you do it? He seems to trust you.
For a time I thought he was different from other men. In the end, he just wanted to sleep with me. Same as the others.
Perhaps Clayton is different. Maybe you two should talk. A conversation couldn't hurt.
I know what I am and what people call me. I sleep with men for money. If I can accept that, why can't he? No. My future is with the ones I love, not with Clayton Darby.
The ones you love. The money you stole is not for you, then?
My brother is still in our hometown in Romania. I am the only one who can buy him a ticket to England.
Tell me, Christina, is it worth risking your health and your life for your brother's safety?
He's the only family I have left. I had to leave Romania without him. I can't be happy until he is near me again.
Does your brother know what you do to earn the money to bring him here?
Don't be simple, of course not. And he must never know. Everything will be different once he is here with me.
You are a tough woman, Miss Popper. I admire that.
Each time I was going to give up, I would look at that scarf my brother gave me. It gave me enough strength for another day. And then, I lost it.
I understand your concern. I spent many months away from my family when I served on the front line in France.
Every time I write to him, I fear I won't receive an answer. It kills me to know he is still there.
But what about your life, Christina? Are you so worried about your brother's survival that you'll risk your own?
You think you know it all because you fought in the war. But my brother is no soldier.
I know. We all understand the risks to soldiers, but we don't necessarily recognize the civilian casualties caused by these conflicts.
Yes, wars are decided by rich men who will never take the risk of being shot, raped, or maimed.
Wo sie recht hat.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
So, wo ist der Typ? Muss ich erst mal finden wieder.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
Tell me, Clayton, do you really think this young woman stole your wallet?
Christina? Yes. I recently met her. A nice girl, despite her questionable conduct.
If you are going to sleep with a lady of the night, Clayton, I would advise you to be cautious.
I can't really be mad at her, though. She's just trying to survive. She doesn't have many options.
How exactly did you meet Christina?
During my investigation, I offered my hotel room to her to rest and get away from the street.
And what happened?
The next morning, my wallet and my watch had disappeared. I suppose that's what you get for being a good Samaritan.
Do you know that Christina is hoping to pay for her brother to travel to England in the near future?
I see. No, she didn't tell me that. But that explains many things.
Do you believe she will ever see her brother again?
As long as the war rages in Europe, I'm afraid her chances of seeing her brother again are slim to none.
Was it wise to become so intimate with a woman you were supposed to interview, Clayton?
Maybe it was. But I have learned to look for the inner truth and beauty in people.
You're right. I know little of your situation. What can you tell me about Christina?
She is very sensitive. So nostalgic about her country. I saw her cry once because she'd lost a precious souvenir from her homeland.
What was it?
A scarf her brother gave her before she came to England.
Was it what?
Maybe it...
You're right.
She's very...
What was it?
A scarf.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Gut.
You look so pale, my lord. Would you like me to revive you?
Hello again, miss. Tell me, Camellia, how are things now the dispensary is closed? Very well.
Das hat viel gebracht. Erst mal den Weg wiederfinden. Das müsste aber der richtige Weg sein. hoffe ich zumindest. Weil das dürfte gar nicht so einfach sein, den Weg wieder zu finden. Weil das war ja auch nicht an den Docks. Mal ja Richtung Westendbezirk. Warte. Der Weg ist richtig. Der Weg ist richtig. Die Abzweigung war nur verkehrt. Der Weg ist der richtige. Denke ich. Ja. Finbury's Gate. Genau, hier muss ich lang. Der Frau nach. Gut, dass ich nochmal zurückgegangen bin. Ich habe mir das schon gedacht, dass ich da vielleicht irgendwas vergessen habe. So, das ist Whitechapel. Da ist alles schick. Bei dem Hospital ist alles schick und bei den Docks ist alles schick. So, West End ist jetzt der nächste Bezirk, den ich betrete.
Jonathan!
What was that? I won't let you escape. You're very fast, but I'll catch you. They've all been butchered.
Ja, mein Gott, machen wir ja auch die ganze Zeit. Kein Grund, jetzt hier den Moralapostel raushängen zu lassen. Die Vampirjäger tötest du selber auch.
I can still sense a presence.
Bestimmt bei dem Grab seiner Schwester.
Come to me.
Ist sie der nächste Boss, gegen den ich kämpfen muss?
I feel someone's eyes upon my neck.
You! What have you done?
Vicar Larrabee, what happened?
Demon! Hell Scourge! Son of perdition!
Vicar! Jonathan's no demon. He's just a soul. Returned from the dead. Like your Christ, Vicar.
Mary, is it really you?
Oh, it's me, all right. Precious brother.
What is Mother doing here?
I'm gathering the family for a final reunion. All smiling, all dead. Thanks to the good Dr. Reed.
Mary.
Mother, say hello to your son.
Hello, Jonathan.
Mother,
What do we have here, Mother? The prodigal son has lost his tongue. Our Jonathan always had the first and last word at dinner. The entertainer, the star of our show.
I'm sorry. Let me explain.
Shut up. It's my turn to do the talking. I have this nasty hole in my chest, Johnny. It needs to breathe.
Of course. You can speak.
My prayers went so long without an answer. My husband, killed in France. My child, carried away by the flu. My brother promising to return in his letters, then disappearing in thin air. I went from hospital to hospital. Cemetery to cemetery. Grave to grave. I've lifted every stone in London, searching for an end to the nightmare. And there you were. In front of me. On a dark pier.
The hunger had taken me.
The joy to have finally found you. I longed for your arms, a final happy ending to so much tragedy, to tell me all would be well again, as you did when we were children. It was this filthy dock where you greeted your sister. I dug a tunnel from my grave with my fingers and teeth.
Mary. I thought I had murdered you. I tried to end myself. We've been through the same horror.
We are a disease, Jonathan. A sickness that corrupts all it touches. All we kiss, and all we kill. Look at me. Admire your ilk.
I'm so sorry.
Apologies will not suffice. I demand reparation. I want a miracle. Are you a miracle worker, Dr. Reed? No? I'll show you mine then. The family Reed, reunited and complete, living forever in a red sea of eternal love. Time to go, Mother. Say hello to my son for me.
Mary, wait. I have made friends with vital knowledge. Vampires. We are not alone, Mary. With time, we can learn to live almost as we lived before.
How long?
What?
How long will this masquerade continue? I've been watching you. All these nights in Whitechapel, pretending you're still a doctor. You believe you're just fighting a disease. But it's you, the disease. Jonathan, you!
I'm a scientist. I'll find a solution. Let our mother go, please.
You're always the one to sway me to reason, Jonathan. But before, your motivations were always pure. Now you're tainted.
Let her go! She has no part to play in this.
Very well. Have you heard our good doctor? You can go home, Mother. Go home and rest in peace.
Yes, I'll go home and rest.
It's so easy to make them obey or forget. Puppets for our pleasure. I've seen you have your fun.
You are mad.
So that's That's what I am, Doctor. Mad. I was beginning to wonder. I've been hearing these voices in my head. One in particular, that of my dead brother. This is the reason I must kill you. Not for your betrayal. Not for our poisonous kiss. Not even for the lies you tell yourself. No. It's so that smooth and wicked voice will stop ringing in my ear.
Mary. No, don't!
Time to die, brother. And this time for good. Slayer!
Ich hätte ja mit allem gerechnet, ne? Aber dass ich jetzt noch gegen meine eigene Schwester antreten muss, da hätte ich nicht mit gerechnet.
You've burned away Nurse Crane's mind. You're a monster! Come to me, Jonathan. Give me your blood, priest.
Dein Ernst?
Final thoughts are just to die for. Rest in peace, monster.
Ich hab die doch umgebracht. Was ist das denn jetzt für ein Käse? So ein Schrott. Ich hab die doch getötet. Kann doch gar nicht sein, dass die mich jetzt getötet hat.
Please help me! In the name of Christ, someone help me!
Assassin! You've burned away Nurse Crane's mind. You're a monster! Well, brother, it's time to bring this conversation to an end. Forever.
You know I will not play this game.
Calm now, Doctor. Like a rabid dog. Or think you're performing an autopsy.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'll kill them all. The kind Dr. Swansea. The sweet little lass with hair of red. I am the Harbinger, bringing your punishment.
Mary.
Don't you see? This is not me. Flesh that never ages. All nightmare, no dream. Bring it to a close. Let me sleep.
I will find a cure, Mary. I swear it.
Then, at last, I can forgive you.
one last red tear for my fallen sister. I realize the entire world now revolves around this singular word. The epidemic that has stricken London is not the Spanish flu. It is transmitted through the blood, via violent biting, turning survivors into frenzied immortals. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. I am a vampire, born anew into an age of death and pestilence. While plotting factions close in around me, I am sworn to find the source of this epidemic. I am convinced greater perils are still to come. I know the answers I seek are hiding in our blood.
Diesmal hat der Bosskampf hingehauen. Ohne weitere Probleme. War auf jeden Fall eine sehr überraschende Aktion. Mit dem Schwesterchen. Boah, über 7000 habe ich. Über 7000 Erfahrungspunkte. Wieder zerlegen. Kann immer noch keine hier. Kann ich immer noch nicht verbessern, die Waffe. Teil eines guten Griffs. Wo bekomme ich die eigentlich her, die Dinger? Teile von einem guten Griff muss ich wahrscheinlich einkaufen. Ne? So, ich muss mich immer entscheiden zwischen dem und dem. Jetzt habe ich das verstanden. Ich bin ja auch so eine Nase. Aha. Was ist hier mit der Keule? Gewöhnliche Keule. muss man ausprobieren. Ich nehme mich erstmal die Keule vielleicht. Muss ich halt immer mal hier das austauschen, zweite Hand. Mal nehmen. Ausprobieren. So, in den Orten war ja soweit alles in Ordnung. Bei den Docks gab es jetzt nichts Besonderes, aber da steht jetzt bedenklich. Oh nein. Oh, Junge. Muss ich schon wieder nach Whitechapel? Das gibt's doch nicht. Zum Glück habe ich noch nicht gerastet. Ich muss erstmal nach Whitechapel. Ich muss die alte wiederfinden. Ich muss auf jeden Fall die Frau wiederfinden.
Look at it! Fish is fucking.
Ja, mit der Keule. Die haut auf jeden Fall ordentlich rein.
Put an end to you!
Immer geradeaus weiter. 3 Schläge. Und der Fette ist hin. Ja, aber mit der Keule, die haut gut rein. Kann man nicht meckern. Kann man echt nicht meckern. Da ist sie.
I'm so sorry.
Good evening, Xiaoshu.
Wang Shanghao, Dr. Reed. It's good to see you again.
What are you doing with your time, now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to help the poor and sick of the neighborhood by handing out medicine.
That's very charitable of you. But why do it at night?
I've noticed that the most desperate people tend to go out after dark. Hence my presence, to help them when I can.
Giving out medicine? How can you afford to do that?
I am a rich widow, Dr. Reed. My departed husband left me enough money to last the rest of my life. I can spend some on those who don't have any.
Why don't you move to a better neighborhood?
I thought about it, I confess. To go back to the same empty home every day still hurts me a lot.
Why stay here then?
I am a woman of habit, Dr. Reed. And for now, I am happier being useful in a familiar place than I would be anywhere else.
How do you feel now that you're back in Whitechapel?
I've decided to follow your advice, sir. I won't forget the dead, but my efforts will be for the living.
I've no doubt. That is a wise and useful attitude in this part of town.
To be completely honest with you, I'm also doing this for myself. If I'm destined to survive this epidemic, I need my life to have some purpose.
Do you still think about your departed husband?
Of course I do. I'll never forget my beloved Matthew, but how do I put it? Now I miss him more than I want him back.
I know what you mean. And I think it means you're getting better.
Maybe death will take me the way it took Matthew, without warning and without mercy. But until then, I live on.
How is the sanitary situation evolving in Whitechapel these days?
My only relief is that my Matthew died before seeing the madness that approaches. I'm afraid we won't survive this trial, Dr. Reed.
How do you feel? Physically speaking, I mean.
I don't feel good, Dr. Reed. Not at all.
You should recover quickly after taking this.
Thank you, Doctor.
Goodbye for now.
Wunderbar. So.
Good evening, Mr. Petrescu.
Surely you have someone else to bother, Mr. Doctor.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
I heard what happened to Nurse Crane. How do you feel, Mr. Petrescu?
Everything was going well until you arrived. Dorothea helped people and will be sorely missed.
I regret it too. I wish she'd continued working at the Pembroke Hospital. She was a good nurse.
So you put an end to the operation. Did you put an end to Dorothea as well?
You seem to have a lot on your chest, sir. What's wrong?
I heard you are a famous surgeon. Tell me, what did you do to Dorothea? She was so bright, so clever. Then you made her an empty shell.
I didn't use drugs or medical trickery, Mr. Petrescu. All I did was talk to Nurse Crane. I promise you.
But what happened to her then? After you left, she did not even recognize me. Then she got careless and sick, and I had to flee.
How is the sanitary situation in Whitechapel?
Terrible, to say the least. Maybe now you understand the importance of Dorothea's work here. But you never cared, did you?
There isn't just one way to help Whitechapel.
Your way seems to attract sorrow and despair, Mr. Doctor. Your kind of care is not what Whitechapel needs.
That's quite an accusation.
Stop pretending, Mr. Doctor. All you wanted was to confront Dorothea. You never intended to help Whitechapel's people.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Tja, der ist nicht mehr so gut auf uns zu sprechen. Ich sag ja, ich hätte Dorothea kündigen sollen, anstatt sie ja gut zu beeinflussen. Das wäre wahrscheinlich der bessere Weg gewesen. So, gucken. Nicht, dass ich noch irgendeinen auf meiner Liste hier vergessen habe. Gut. Dann gehe ich nämlich jetzt mal zurück.
best. It's elite!
Ja, die Keule ist super. Die ist auf jeden Fall besser wie dieses Schwert. Das Schwert ist nicht übel, aber die Keule ist tausendmal besser.
He's mine! I'll take it! Shit, that leech is fast!
Mit der Keule kann man gut arbeiten. Mit Keule macht es auf jeden Fall Spaß. 2 Schläge und der Gegner ist weg. So, jetzt können wir wenigstens erstmal ausruhen hier. Hat sich Dr. Reed auch verdient. Wunderbar. So, wie sieht's aus? So bleibt es gesund geblieben, der Bezirk. Stabil. Nicht gesund. Schade. Ist immer noch bei bedenklich bei den Docks. Das ist nicht gut. Giselle Paxton vermisst. Lottie Paxton ebenfalls vermisst. So, bei ihm steht das auch dabei. Tja. Bin ich nicht so ganz zufrieden mit, aber Hauptsache ich muss diesmal niemanden heilen. Boah, ich habe schon Level 20 erreicht. Ja, immerhin muss ich diesmal niemanden heilen. Das heißt, ich musste auch nichts groß herstellen. Lady Ashburys Einladung. Mein lieber Dr. Reed, ich hoffe, dieser Brief erreicht Sie bald, denn ich muss schnellstmöglich mit Ihnen sprechen. Die Lage im West End entwickelt sich äußerst schnell und ich bin überzeugt, dass wir alle in großer Gefahr schweben. Die Wache von Priven hat eine große Jagd in London begonnen und seit einigen Nächten suchen und töten ihre Angehörigen aktiv alle Eckern, die sie aufspüren können. Lord Redgrave, der Vorsitzende des Akalon Clubs, hat mich vor kurzem kontaktiert. Er will Sie umgehend treffen. Sie können nachts jederzeit zu meinem Haus kommen, wenn es Ihnen passt. Wir müssen über all diese Dinge sprechen. Diesem Brief liegt ein offizieller Passagierschein bei, mit dem Sie jede Straßensperre und jeden Quarantänekontrollpunkt in der Stadt passieren können. In Freundschaft, Lady Ashbury. Nun denn. Ich will nochmal hier mit dem Doktor sprechen. Mal gucken, ob der uns noch was zu erzählen hat, was Neues. Pembroke Hospital, 25. Oktober. Sehr geehrter Dr. Swansea, hiermit informiere ich Sie über meine starken Zweifel bezüglich Dr. Strickland um den Fall von Avery Fiddick. M. Fiddick wurde nach einem schweren Arbeitsunfall eingeliefert. Wenn man ihn nicht angemessen behandelt, läuft er Gefahr, seinen Arm zu verlieren. Dr. Strickland behauptet, der medizinische Eingriff könne den Arm des Mannes komplett heilen. Ich fürchte, dass Komplikationen ihn den Arm kosten könnten. Unser junger Kollege ist ein kühner, experimentierfreudiger Arzt, der in ein paar Jahren zu einem hervorragenden Experten reifen könnte. Doch noch fehlt ihm die Expertise, diese riskante Behandlung durchzuführen. Muss ich Sie an seine früheren Verfehlungen erinnern? Da Dr. Strickland nicht auf mich hört, empfehle ich Ihnen, sein gefährliches Experiment zu unterbinden. Okay. Strickland.
Jonathan, old chap, how are you tonight? I've seen little of you of late.
I was conducting research in my room, away from the nightly routines.
Of course, of course. Worry not, I understand. The situation has been testy around here. I won't deny it, but we still stand.
What news do you bring?
The news is not good, my friend. We try to keep the epidemic at bay, but street violence is escalating quickly.
How bad is the epidemic?
It is killing the infected patients faster. In less than 2 days now. The only blessing is that they are contagious for a shorter period.
Tell me more about the violence.
Geoffrey McCallum seems to have sent his war dogs on a hunt. On a nightly basis, Prewen patrols exterminate every skull and vampire they find.
Have they come closer to the hospital?
No. They mainly focus on fallen districts or abandoned buildings. But they're growing in numbers. They must be recruiting heavily.
I have received an alarming letter from Lady Ashbury. She wants me to meet her at her house. I have been granted safe passage.
Then you are twice fortunate. I have never been invited to the lady's mansion. And with the quarantine and controls, city access is nigh impossible.
Is the quarantine serving any purpose?
It is helping slow the propagation of the epidemic. But as long as we have no clue to its origin, its efficiency is limited.
Why have you never entered the lady's house? You are one of her good friends, are you not?
My dear Jonathan, you have no idea how reclusive the good lady normally is, nor in what great esteem she must hold you to let you into her domain.
Have you any reliable friends in the West End who might assist me?
Unfortunately, you will be alone. Except for our ravishing red-headed acquaintance, of course.
What of my commission here at Pembroke Hospital?
Nothing to fear, Jonathan. Your position here is in no jeopardy. You remain one of us, and you are always most welcome.
What about the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole? Where are they?
There are only a few of us, and most others would not speak to you. I am the black sheep of our brotherly flock, you know.
Thank you, Edgar. We shall speak again later.
So, gucken wir erstmal, wie es dem Patienten geht. Hä?
Good evening, Mr. Elwood.
Evening, Dr. Reed.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How close are you to Miss Horcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she approaches my bed, she treats me like something tasty. A normal person.
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game goes too far.
She's quite harmless, I can assure you. Her head's broken inside is all. While I'm busted on the outside. But she's still beautiful. Living proof that there's hope for me.
So do you let her bite you? You know that's not sanitary.
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of me blood. And the pain, it's real for once.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to stay here, Doctor.
You do realize she's mentally disturbed. It's called the Cotard syndrome. She truly believes she's a vampire.
In her madness, she never refers to my scars. And frankly, if I could, I'd join her world. It seems much more fun than the real one.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Disgust on every street corner.
I wish I could be sick again.
Daily
Feel
routine.
my blood boil with the fever.
Hauptsache, er lässt sich von ihr beißen die ganze Zeit. Naja. Irgendwie muss man sich ja näher kommen, ne? Wenn man hier so lange wohnt, auf die eine oder andere Weise. So, ich würde sagen, wir machen jetzt erstmal einen Break. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Wenn ja, lasst mir gerne ein Like und ein Abo da. Und dann sehen wir uns beim nächsten Mal. Und ich wieder bis dahin. See ya und danke fürs Einschalten.